Gabriel. Gabriel has finally decided to get into investing, so he's done exactly what anyone else would do in his position. I'm gonna watch a bunch of YouTube videos to figure it out. A few hours later. So, how's the investing going? None of these videos actually show you how to do it. What you just watched was the exact process I went through when starting to invest. I watched hours of videos, none showed me how to actually put away my first pound. Which is why I'm making this video, a step-by-step tutorial on how to invest with Vanguard. And no, this video isn't sponsored. I'm gonna be taking you through all of these steps, and at the very end, we're gonna dive into my portfolio on Vanguard, how much I've invested and where it's gone. Now, I know some of you are gonna be asking, why Vanguard? The reason is simply, it's the platform I know and use myself. And I do that for 3 key reasons. Firstly, it's safe. It has over 30 million users worldwide and it's regulated here in the UK. Secondly, Vanguard embodies the way I want to invest. Low cost, index funds. And finally, it's a really simple platform. I'm not an investing expert, despite making some YouTube videos on the topic. But when it does come to building my portfolio, I'm not looking for individual shares. I want funds and Vanguard offers that. And before I do go any further, it is really important for me to say that there are plenty of other investing platforms out there, and that even after watching this video, you should always do your own due diligence when it comes to investing. And having said all of that, let's dive into how to open an investing account. In 2023, most investing platforms have an app. Vanguard does not, which means you're gonna have to open an account the old-fashioned way by going to their website. I'm actually quite a fan that there's no app. You see, I'm trying to follow this set it and forget it policy with my own personal investments. If there was an app, I would be looking at it all the time. It doesn't really go very well for the whole forget it side of things. Once you're on the website, simply click open an account, and before you do hit start my application, make sure you have the details they're asking for, such as your national insurance number and bank details. Once you do press that button, you're gonna see there's a range of different accounts that they offer you to open. In this video, I'm gonna be focusing on the stocks and shares ISA, but let me briefly skim through the other accounts that they offer you. Personal pension allows you to put away £40,000 per year, but that money is locked away until you're 55, and there are tax implications when you start to withdraw that. A junior ISA is similar to a stocks and shares ISA, but it's for people below the age of 18, and your parents or guardians will have control over it. The general investment will require you to be paying things like capital gains, savings, and dividends taxes. And finally, the stocks and shares ISA, which protects you from all of those taxes I've just mentioned, with the only rules being there's a cap of £20,000 a year, and you can only pay into one stocks and shares ISA per tax year. Unless you've already been paying into another stocks and shares ISA this year, you're going to want to skip that start a transfer button and go straight into open an account. The next page simply explains the rules of opening a stocks and shares ISA, but it also lets you know that to open an account with Vanguard, you need to do a one-off payment of £500 or set up a recurring monthly payment of £100. Maybe I should have mentioned that at the beginning. Hit continue again, double check that you're eligible, and press continue once more. As I've already got an account, I'm not going to fill out these details, and I'm going to move swiftly on to one of the most important parts of this video, the fees of Vanguard. First, there's the account fee, which is 0.15% of your total portfolio per year. This is capped at £375, which is basically when you've hit £250,000 in your account. Then the second cost is the ongoing fund charge. Here it states it's about 0.2% on average, but the funds on the platform range from 0.06 to 0.78%. To put that into actual numbers, if you put £1,000 onto Vanguard, you pay £3.50 per year as a fee. That is very cheap compared to the rest of the industry. And it moves us nicely onto how to actually pick which fund to invest into. First things first, we need to find the list of funds that Vanguard offers. I'm gonna take a look at the funds the way that I would pay into one of them by clicking payments and then buy investments. The live price comes at a cost of £7.50 per transaction. So unless you're investing a lot of money, this option is almost never gonna be worth it for you. Clicking onto the next available price, you'll then be brought up the full list of available funds. Now Vanguard breaks these into several categories: blended funds, equity funds, fixed income funds, and cash. Let's break them down. Equity funds contain stocks, basically pieces of a company, and they're normally seen as higher risk, but also higher reward. Fixed income funds contain mainly corporate and government bonds, which are lower risk, but also potentially lower return. Cash is just cash. You put your money into Vanguard, but it's not actually invested anywhere. And finally, blended funds, which contain mixtures of both fixed income and equity funds put together by Vanguard. Diving into these equity and fixed income funds, you can see that if I tick this box at the top, the number of funds contained within each of those categories goes up. That's because it's now adding on income versions of accumulation funds. But what does that mean? An income fund means that simply when you earn any payouts from those funds, they'll go directly into your bank account rather than being reinvested into your investments. Personally, I don't go for these income funds because I'm trying to grow my money through compound interest. Next, diving into all of these, you can see there's a bunch from all different places around the world. You've got European funds, global funds, UK funds, US funds, And I'm not going to be diving into each of these accounts in this video, but if you do stick around to the end of this video, I'm going to show you exactly which of these funds I do invest into myself. Taking a look at Vanguard's blended funds, there are two different types, the life strategy and the target retirement. Now you'll see for each of the life strategy, there's a percentage against it. And this is the split of equity to fixed income funds that they invest into. For example, the life strategy 60% fund is 60% equity and 40% fixed income. For the target retirement funds, you simply put in the year that you think you're going to retire, and the fund will automatically reallocate its risk level dependent on how close you are to that retirement date. For example, if you went for the 2025 fund, it would be very focused on fixed income because you don't want to be liable to risk. That's great, but how do you actually put money into any of these funds? Well, quite simply, you add how much you want to invest, press next, fill in all of your payment details on the next page, and voila, that order will go through within something like 24 hours, depending on when the next available purchase happens. It really is as simple as that. Lastly, let me give you an actual tour of the website so you understand what's going on the screen once you're logged in. When you log in, you're going to see your total ISA value at the top, followed by 6 boxes and a list of options down the left. The boxes and the options pretty much linked to the same thing. So in this video, I'm just going to focus on the boxes. Top left shows you your ISA allowance when you click on it. And for me, this is £20,000 because the new tax has just started. I haven't invested anything at this point. And by clicking on it, it takes you to the payments tab where you can actually go and make your next investment. Next, under the investment box, it's going to show you the fund that has the largest amount of your money within your entire ISA. So for me, as you can see, this is the Life Strategy 40% fund. And by clicking on view, it will take you to look at your entire investment portfolio. But like I said, I'm going to show you this at the end of the video in its entirety. The personal rate of return shows you how up or down you are in terms of your entire account, and by clicking on that view performance, you'll be able to see that in a lot more detail. The bottom left box shows you the available cash that you have within your account, so that's uninvested money. For me, this is quite a lot of money right now, but I'll save that for another video. Clicking on invest now underneath it takes you to another option of where you can buy a one-off investment. The bottom middle box is as simple as it's titled, last transaction. It just shows you the last thing that you bought and for how much. Clicking view will break down all of your previous transactions. And finally, the bottom right shows you any ISAs that you might have transferred from other brokers throughout your entire period of being with Vanguard. Last but not least, let's dive into my investment portfolio, which you can find in the investment tab right over here. So here you can see that I'm mainly invested into 3 funds, the Life Strategy 40%, the Life Strategy 100%, and the VWRL fund. The Life Strategy 40% is for some shorter term investment plans that I have personally. The Life Strategy 100% is for that long-term vision of my investment. And the VWRL fund puts my weighting a little bit more towards North America, which is where I personally want to invest into. You can also see that I've played around with a few other funds, and the reason I've done that is just to increase my diversification and help me with my education when it comes to my own personal investments. Voila, that's it. Hopefully now you know exactly how to start your investment journey with Vanguard, and if you're going to go somewhere else, hopefully this has given you a clear indication of that as well. All that's left for me to say is good luck on your investing journey. Make sure you do your own research, and if you did get to this part of the video, hopefully you liked it and you can subscribe to this channel for more videos like it. I'll see you in the next video. I'm going to turn this thing off.